So it's summer, which means Steph and I are tag teaming life, childcare, work, and general chaos of being neurodivergent adults. So for the next few weeks, you're getting SENDit shorts. They're quick, punchy solo episodes to keep you going until we get back together in September, I think it is. So I tried to write this episode yesterday, and then my brain said no. My inbox said hi. My sensory system said absolutely not, which is exactly why today's toolkit is all about micro accommodations, the tiny things that make work actually doable. So when people hear the word accommodations, they often think of big, formal adjustments, paperwork, HR meetings, a whole process, but micro accommodations are the opposite. The small, quick, low effort tweaks that support your brain right now without needing permission, disclosure, or a full workplace revolution. And we already know from the last toolkit, I have a little bit of an issue around the term adjustments as well. There's something too formal about that. So we're thinking small and quick things which will help make life easier for you. They're about making work fair, not identical, because sameness isn't fairness. And neurodivergent brains often need different scaffolding to get the same outcome. So I used to think I had to power through everything. Meetings, emails, sensory overload, time blindness. I'd just grit my teeth and hope for the best. But the truth is, the tiniest adjustments have saved me from more times than any kind of big strategy ever has. So, like the day I realised I could send an email template instead of drafting a whole message from scratch. Or the moment I started blocking out thinking time in my calendar, because otherwise I'd forget thinking is actually something I need to do. Or the time I turned off my notifications and suddenly remembered what silence feels like. So these tiny shifts, they don't fix everything, but they make your day gentler, clearer, and doable. So research on executive function and cognitive load shows that small environmental tweaks can significantly reduce overwhelm. Micro accommodations work because they lower the activation energy required for us to start or sustain a task. They don't change your brain, they change the conditions your brain is working in. And for neurodivergent people, that's the difference of that can be absolutely huge. So I have got 4 micro accommodations you can ask for, or you can simply just start doing and using. And I have to be honest, I have never asked for permission for these. I just do it. So first one, email templates. So I use predominantly Microsoft Office. So you can create your own email templates within Microsoft Office. So for example, if writing emails, especially if you're doing repeat ones, drain you, simply create your own email templates for those ones which you do most often. Or if you need support with that, or there's a team of you, why not ask to create them together so you've got that consistency as well. It helps you create more time, as well as kind of not having to think about the basis of what that email. So the templates reduce that decision fatigue, and it helps you really communicate clearly without burning that energy as well. So looking at meetings then, we've covered this before in other episodes, but quite simply ask for an agenda in advance. This is a huge thing for me. I'm not brilliant at thinking on the spot. If I know what I'm going into, you're going to get the best out of me. So ask for an agenda before the meeting. The other thing that's really helpful is requesting a 5-minute buffer before and after your meeting. Again, if you are in an organisation where you might have lots of meetings, especially if they're on Teams or online, having that buffer between meetings is an absolute must for neurodivergent brains. It helps you kind of prepare and mentally get ready for the next stage. The other thing is starting to have phrases in your back pocket which are going to help you. So, for example, I'll follow up in writing. That's really helpful if processing on the spot is hard. So having that processing time and not giving a response on the spot will help you, and it will also help the organisation get the best out of you. We've also got some sensory tweaks here as well. So things like micro accommodations for your sensory system might be turning off the big light, as I deem it. Sometimes having the big light on can create an issue and create a bit of a sensory overload. Using headphones might be something as well that might help, or sitting near a window or away from noise. They're not dramatic, they are just humane adjustments. We've got time blocking for time blind brains. Time blindness isn't something that you can solve by trying harder. So I use time blocking in my diary. And I will name blocks of time so it looks like it's a meeting. For me, that's an absolute must. I know that I'm going to get the task done within that time, and I will always block out now more time than I think I need, with a buffer afterwards as well. Setting a 10-minute warm-up timer, perfect. If you need to get your mindset in the right place to kind of do a particular piece of work. The other thing that I do an awful lot is I colour code my tasks and my meetings. So without looking, so if I'm like scanning at my diary, I don't need to kind of go into the detail. I can see by the colour code on my diary what that task is going to be. So looking at those micro accommodations or those changes that are going to make your life easier, it's not about special treatment. They're just small acts of fairness that help your brain thrive. So as always, I've got a challenge for you. I want you to try one micro change today, just one, even if it's as tiny as turning your notifications off. I would class that as a small win. So as always, if this episode has helped you, please follow us on SENDit.Brainsatwork. Share it with somebody that you think might need that support and different ideas. And also leave us a review. All of these things help us reach more neurodivergent people who deserve better in the workplace. And it's also free for you to do. As I said on my last episode, I want you to keep your eyes and ears open. Me and Steph have got something very exciting which will be landing very soon. So I will see you next time.
Podcast disclaimer. The views, thoughts and opinions expressed in this podcast belong solely to the hosts. We are not experts, specialists or professionals, and nothing we discuss should be taken as advice. Our conversations are based around our own experiences, ideas and perspectives. They are intended for general discussion and entertainment only. If you need guidance, support or advice, whether professional, personal, medical, legal, financial or otherwise, please seek help from a qualified professional. By listening to this podcast, you understand and agree that the hosts are not responsible for any actions you choose to take based on what you hear.